Hello and welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. I have two rye whiskeys. They're both 90 proof and they're from Indiana, but they're not bottled there. Here is Bulleit 95 rye. Bulleit. Some people pronounce it Bulleit. Bulleit 95 rye, introduced in 2011. Straight American rye whiskey, or actually straight Indiana rye whiskey, but it's 95% rye and it is 4% malted barley. 4% malted barley. No age statement. I forgot to put that. It's got a medicine. The bottle shaped like a medicine bottle, embossed medicine bottle. Good evening to you, Herbie in India. Let me update my notes here. No age statement, no age state. All right, I have it fixed. I had forgotten about these two. Well, I forgot about this one. So I thought I was finished with the rye challenge. I did 11 victories and one loss. I got it right 11 times. I got it wrong once. But now we got to go a 13th time. Here is Ezra Brooks 90 proof straight rye whiskey, aged 2 years. Aged in new charred American oak. Well, they don't even need to put that on the bottle because by saying it's straight rye, it has to be new, never before used charred American oak barrels. Look what it says: distilled and aged in Indiana, bottled St. Louis, Missouri by Ezra Brooks. But Ezra Brooks is not a company, it's just a name for one of the Luxco brands. If you sorry, I had a piece of like lettuce stuck in my tooth. If you have a liquor company and you want to buy a 95% rye, just like this one, you can contact Midwest Grain Products and they'll make you that. They'll send you that same 95% rye whiskey, and you can bottle it under your label. 95% rye, 4% malted barley. Now this one is 51% rye, 45% corn, and 4% malted barley. So you would think I should be able to tell them apart, right? 95% rye versus 51%. I would hope so. On the other hand, you just never know, I guess. Price point. Oh yeah, the price point. This one here runs about $17.99. Ezra Brooks Bulleit. I'm not sure of the price because I got a discount on it. I paid $10 for the full size bottle. $10. Not kidding. I know it's not $10. I know that, but they had it at Walmart for $10. Full size bottle. I paid $9 for this. So for both of these together, I paid $19, which is basically the price for a single one of these. So that's crazy, I know, but it's the truth. It's what happened. Let's look at Total Wine and More. And then we'll look at the websites for the companies. So let's do a screen share, which is always fun to do, interesting. Yeah, it's not really expensive. $22.99. I thought so. Good price, but I got it for 10. Mad sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Gets a really high score. Uh, Bulleit Rye webpage. Award-winning straight rye whiskey with a character of unparalleled spice and complexity. Unparalleled. They're saying nothing can match it. Well, I don't know about all that. Released in 2011. I wish all beer, wine, and liquor websites would tell you when it came out. Why not do that? Tell us when they hit the market. It continues to enjoy recognition as one of the rye available, according to who? Well, Total Wine and More does give it a 90. It's won many awards. Doesn't look like anything recently. Russet color with rich oaky aromas. The taste is exceptionally smooth with a vanilla, honey, and spice finish. It's crisp and clean with long, lingering flavors. Yes, I like it. It's Bulleit is owned by Diageo these days. I don't think they started it, but they own it. You can take a tour of the distillery if you like. It says visit us. Yeah, more like a visitor center, an experience, a Bulleit experience. So a distillery tour. It's kind of like Jim Beam. You can take the Jim Beam experience or the Evan Williams experience in Louisville. Do you get to see the distillery? No, but it's all right. Ezra Brooks Straight Rye. There's the website. They have de-emphasized this over the last year, so you'll find it, but it's been replaced essentially by the 99 proof. 99 proof is still the same mash bill, 51%, 45, and 4%, and it's still aged 2 years, but it's a higher proof. So why would I have to put my birthday now? And I just went to it without my birthday. Well, I don't know if they give a distillery tour. They might. I'm not going back to Kentucky anytime soon anyway. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Now, when I brought it to the counter at the liquor store, it was in a dilapidated condition. It was filthy, covered with grime. All the labels were peeling off. The labels were peeling off. Absolutely horrible. He rang it up, and it was $17.99, I think. And I looked at him, and I'll say, "Oh, okay." I just said, "Oh, okay." I was about to go put it back on the shelf. He said, "Well, I tell you what, $9, $9." I said, "Okay, I'll buy it." So I came home and I washed it with warm water and soap. And then after it dried, about a day later, I taped all the labels down so it looked presentable. Okay, so I knew I could resurrect it, so to speak. Reconstitute it. Was never open, so that I knew it was sealed. But boy, it looked terrible. He knew nobody was going to buy it for full price, as bad as it looked. He seemed shocked, like he didn't realize they had a bottle in his store that looked that bad. That's really kind of like he wanted to get it out of the store. Worked to my advantage, I guess. Okay. I didn't mind putting the tape on it and all that. Just took a little work. Didn't take much. All right. Bulleit, like I said, I went to Walmart. So I went to Walmart one day. And I was doing shopping for other things. Really. Look, real cork. Both of them have real cork. It's not rubber or a twist cap. They do have real cork. I went in there and I said, let me go look by the liquor section just to see, can't hurt. And I do that occasionally. And I saw this on the shelf for $10 with the special bright yellow discount tag. I said, $10. I said, who in the world would pass that up? Well, I wasn't going to be one of those people. For $10, now I don't need any liquor. Now I was counting Yesterday I said, let me see how many bourbons I have that are unopened because I knew it was getting crazy, you know. So I said, let me see how many bourbon whiskeys do I have in this house that have never been tasted, unopened. So start counting. And if I'm accurate, and I think I am, I have 22. 22 bourbons unopened that I've yet to address. Oh yeah, already chime. Already did my little stereotypical chime. Somebody said, why do you do that? I said, I don't know. James P. Madonna always did it, so I just copied from him. These are both amber, clear as a bell. Oh, man. 22 bourbons. That's why I had to start a new protocol in these taste challenges. I do a rye whiskey, then I go to bourbon, which I have that Jepson's. Thank you, David. And then I go to American blended whiskey, which I've got well made coming up. Well made. It's called well made. That's what's called well made. And then I'm going to jump back to bourbon. So I double up the bourbons. I do rye, bourbon, American blended, back to bourbon. Then I go on to Canada. Okay. That way I can at least try in my lifetime to get these done. So, question, do I want to buy any more bourbon? Answer, no, absolutely not. Especially since I've got 22 unopened bottles. Tommy Carroll says, cheers, Louisiana Liquor Reviews. Hope you had a good weekend. I did. And I worked 8 hours today, so I was like a busy bee today. Okay, but now I'm off. They had a news report about this town about the drainage or something. They had flooding in this town where it wasn't supposed to happen, and they were saying the drainage is okay, but then it wasn't okay. Well, why did the people's houses flood? Wesley Ethheimer says, welcome back, Jay. I just finished off a Corona Extra. Oh, yeah, good old Corona Extra. I saw Carta Blanca quartz and Corona Extra quartz the other day at Easy Stop. Corona Extra quartz and Carta Blanca quartz. True story. All right. Yeah, it smells like spicy rye whiskey. Just smell like generalized rye whiskey. Nothing one way or the other, you know, elaborate or simple. Just rye whiskey. All right, over here. Wesley says, I know you don't always go out of your way to buy light beer. I definitely do not. Do you consider a Corona Extra light? No. I consider Corona Light to be light and Corona Premier to be ultra light. A more simple aroma. So on aroma, this one has more rye spice. So that's making me think. It's making me think that's the Bulleit because it's got a higher percentage of rye. It's 95% rye as opposed to only 51%. But let's taste it. I'm going to try to be open-minded, of course. The proof won't matter because they're both the same proof, 90. The age might matter because one is 2 years, says it on the bottle. The other one has no age statement, and in the whiskey world, that means it's at least 4 years old. That's the rule for whiskey, at least 4 years old. Not necessarily for brandy and all other brand products, but for whiskey, if it doesn't have an age statement, it's at least 4 years. No age statement, it's at least 4 years. So we know it's at least 2 years old. Could be. For all I know, it could be older than that. Rich rye, rich, sweet rye, rich and sweet, which kind of work together, don't they? And very minty. I like it. Would I buy it again? Well, theoretically, I would. In reality, no, because I mean, I got so many other rye whiskeys I'd like to try, like that Rittenhouse. I've seen that over the years. I heard it's good. You know, I got some unopened ryes here. Got one from Scotland. Say Scotland rye whiskey. What? Yep, it's 60% rye from Scotland. Believe it or not. Yeah, maybe it's a little more corn sweetness here. A little more corn sweetness. I gotta take a third sip because this has got me a little confused. I'll be honest with you. Remember, Diageo owns this one. Same people that make Guinness, you know, Diageo, Guinness, Johnny Walker, Crown Royal. You've heard of those companies. Zapaka or Zacapa. I think it's Zacapa rum from, well, I've never had it from Guatemala. Ezra Brooks, parent company, Luxco, same people that make Bellows bourbon. But they make other ryes. Rebel Rye, formerly Rebel Yell. Davies County, they might have a rye. They make Ezra Brooks 7-year rye, which is barrel proof. I'd never touch it. 114 or something, 127, some crazy number. I'd be terrified to drink it. And then somebody told me why you could just, you know what somebody told me? This made no sense to me. No sense whatsoever. He's like, why would you worry about a barrel proof whiskey being too strong? All you got to do is add water and ice to it, and then it'll come down to even 80. I said, right. But why would I want to pay 20, 30, $40 more to drink a product that I'm going to add water to and bring it down to a product that is 10, 20, or $30 less? It doesn't make any sense. If I'm buying a full proof or barrel proof whiskey, I'm going to drink it at that level. But I just wouldn't buy them because I don't like that flavor. It's too strong for me. It's too hot. I don't like it. Okay, I don't like it. Have you tried Pinot Grigio? Yes, many times. I think I remember you saying you've never had a bad wine. I never had a wine that I didn't like. Are there bad wines out there? I guess. Well, I had one that was rancid once. That was rancid. I dumped it down the sink on the video. That was Gibson's. I don't know if it was sherry, cream sherry, dry sherry. But I tasted. I took one taste and said, I ain't drinking this. It's rancid. Just like somebody gave me some shrimp stew and I tasted it yesterday. I dumped it outside in the woods. And my neighbor across the street said, it tasted weird, huh? I said, yeah, it was like it was rancid. I wasn't eating that. I took 3 tastes of that shrimp stew and it tasted, I couldn't get it out, the taste out of my mouth all day yesterday. I was like, oh no. But that was an exception. I think that thing was on the shelf for so long it went bad. And then they told, you know what they tell me at the grocery store in Metairie? I said, that stuff was rancid. I pointed to it. I said, that stuff was rancid. And the guy tells me, well, you know, a lot of people buy that to cook with it. What does that have to do? I almost wanted to say, what did you say to me just now? What would the fact that people buy it to cook with have to do with it was rancid? I know a lot of people cook with sherry. Cream sherry, dry sherry, cocktail sherry, whatever. The fact that it was rancid had nothing to do with it. It would be like saying, well, this lawnmower won't start. And then you say, yeah, but my uncle used to play chess. Well, so? All right. Louisiana liquor reviews in Hawaii. Did you find any beers that were exceptional? Yes. It's called Elysian Dragon's Tooth Stout. Elysian Dragon's Tooth Stout. That thing was awesome. That was fire. It was like a dragon. Now, all the rest, they were just ordinary, you know, nothing special. I bought them because of something to try, and I did videos. They'll be posted soon. But they weren't really, you know, it was like, same old thing, same old thing. I did like 7 that were the same old thing. Or 8. and then the Dragon's Too Stout was the one that stood out. All the rest, take it or leave it. Sorry, Franzia. I like Franzia wine. Says Wesley. Any Halloween plans? So yeah, I've never. I shouldn't even mention that Gibson's, because that was just a spoiled. It was obviously spoiled. All the other Gibson's winery dessert wines I had were very good. I bought ones that were fresh. They nice. They're really nice. So yeah. Have I ever had a bad wine? No. I've had wines that people claim are bad, but it didn't taste bad to me. So you say, oh, Wild Irish Rose. Yeah, it tasted all right. It's like buying Pepsi Cola. It's like you buy a Pepsi Cola and you eat a ham sandwich. You say, is that somebody pins you down. Is that soft drink exceptional? You say, man, it's just a Pepsi Cola. I'm eating a ham sandwich. Okay. It's just, it's good. I mean, I'm not sitting there like thinking about it. That's how that Wild Irish Rose is. It's just like you watching the NFL and you sipping on it, and you're not sitting there thinking about, oh man, the elaborate interest and complexity of this Wild Irish Rose. You just eating peanuts and sipping on it with ice probably, or out the freezer or fridge, and you're watching the game. Some things are like that, like Budweiser beer. You just drink it. Same thing. People hate on that. Like, oh, that's terrible. If I went to a party and all they had was Budweiser, I wouldn't drink beer. And some of these people saying that, I'm looking at them like, I'm pretty sure that's not true. What you meant to say is if you went to a party, you would drink anything if it was beer, no matter what the brand was. I would say I had a $2 bottle that wasn't great, similar to you. Yeah. Henry in Louisville says, I was in Milwaukee 2 weeks ago and bought a 12-pack bottle of Schlitz and loved it. If I could get it here, it would be my new weekly buy. See, well, you liked it. I don't know if that's if you got a one that was produced by Miller at the Miller Brewery in Wisconsin. Well, you could look on the package if it says, if you have any left. If it says Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you got the Miller. If it says La Crosse, Wisconsin, or Memphis, Tennessee, or one of those places, then you got the New City Brewing. Okay, but if you like it, I'm telling you, Ron, you would have a great voice with books on tape. Oh, really? Books on tape. Presents Heart of Darkness by Robert Conrad. Never turn down free beer or pizza. Unless it's camo. If the beer is camo, then you do turn it down, Burley. Yep, Miller high quality. Oh, you got the Miller one. Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. When you get the one from La Crosse, Wisconsin, or Memphis, Tennessee, you might change your opinion. I'm starting to come around to it. Yeah, random thought. All right. I might start a channel called Books on Tape by me. Used to drink camos in high school. They were 99 cents. I wouldn't drink camos if you paid me 99 cents every time I drink it. All right, this is a really tough taste challenge, but I don't know. I hate to get 2 losses in this. I hate to go to 11-2 instead of 12-1, but I think this is the Bulleit because it seems to have a little bit more rye. I knew it. I just had a bad feeling, man. It's the Ezra Brooks. Sorry, I tried my best, but I guess my best just wasn't good enough. Okay, well, anyway, you never heard of camo beers? Well, good. That's a good thing. And you never want to hear of those. Forget it. Put it out of your mind. Pretend they don't exist. Apparently they do, but pretend they don't. All right. My first beer as a teen was Sterling. Wasn't good. I like Sterling. Well, I liked it until it went out of business in 1997. But I had bought Sterling beer here in Louisiana. Sterling lager. So this is a really good beer. Indiana, Evansville Brewing Company, Evansville, Indiana. I went back to the beer store, meaning any gas station, in '97, and I saw a quart bottle, beautiful brown glass quart bottle, said Evan Sterling liquor, beer. It was like, I don't know, $1.75. I said, next time I come to this store, I'm buying this bottle. I had something else to do or whatever happened. I said, I'm buying this bottle next week. All right. I go back to that store the next week. It's still open. I said, where's the Sterling? Couldn't find it. Now, the year before, I found their Eagle. It's called the Eagle Malt Liquor. I'm looking at the can right there. The Eagle Malt Liquor from Evansville Brewing Company, Evansville, Indiana. That was a pretty good malt liquor. I bought a 6-pack on the way home from a Louisiana State University Tigers football game one night. Stopped right on Louisiana, got off Interstate 10, got on Louisiana Highway 22, went in there and looked. I found it. I said, oh, pretty good product. I couldn't understand why I could never find Sterling or the Eagle again. Couldn't find them. Well, what happened was the company went out of business. The whole brewery was shut down. That was it. End of the road. I said, well, of course I couldn't find it. It's gone. I didn't realize that in 1997 that it had gone out of business. I like the old Fall City and Coors Extra Gold. I had bought a 6-pack of Fall City beer in 1996. In 1996, I bought a 6-pack of Fall City beer. I have a can left. And it's right across the bridge from Louisville. I think it's called Jefferson, Indiana, something like that. Got right off the bridge. There was a liquor store. Went in, had Fall City. I bought it. Pretty good stuff, too, actually. But that's gone. That's gone. All those old beer companies, they went out of business. Back in the mid-'90s, I would buy Falstaff. Gone. Gone. I think they shut down in '97. Their last brewery in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Sterling, Fall City. I could name them all night long, and I kept the can just to kind of keep it as a remembrance. Coors Extra Gold, I bought a can and bottle of that. I couldn't drink Camel now, but when you're 18 in a metal band, it does just fine. Okay, you're in a metal band. Okay. Who's saying going back to Indiana, the Jackson 5? Billy beer. I know I was too young for that. I was 9 years old. 8, 9 years old when buying it. I miss King Cobra malt liquor. Cobra? Well, they make King Cobra. I don't know what Cobra is. All right. So I got it wrong, folks. I'm sorry. I don't apologize. I just couldn't tell them apart. They're both from the same distillery. They're the same proof. One is 95% rye. The other one is 51% rye. And you could say, you don't know rye. You obviously can't pick up rye versus corn and so forth. Yeah, I guess you're right. So I finished with 10 wins and 11 wins and 2 losses. 11 wins and 2 losses. Oh, well. All right, it's back to bourbon now. Back to bourbon. And then once we finish with bourbon, which will be at least a week, 2 weeks, then it's on to American blended whiskey. Yes, I know you have Scottish blended whiskey and Irish blended whiskey and Canadian blended whiskey and Japanese blended whiskey, but we have American blended whiskey. Some of it's good, some of it's questionable. But I have one from Diageo. Now you figure a big company like Diageo, who makes Bulleit, Crown Royal and stuff, you figure it'd be pretty good, but we'll find out soon. Kevin Johnston says Ezra Brooks is an underrated and unappreciated company that puts out a great product. They're quite impressive. Their rye is. I agree with that because this one is $17.99 and this one is $5 more, and it doesn't taste 5 cents better. All right, it's $5 more, but it's not 5 pennies better. Now you say, "Oh, you're crazy." Any real man knows that Bulleit is better than Ezra Brooks. Well, I must not be a real man because I tasted them blind and I couldn't tell them apart. So I'm gonna let you be a real man and pay the extra $5 every time, and I'm gonna save the $5. And when you paying those bills every month, those credit card bills and other notes, I'll just be sitting back here not paying notes because I don't pay notes. I don't pay a credit card bill. I don't pay a house note. I don't pay a car note or any other note. This note's for you. Now, is this house a palace? No. It's a house built in 1951. It's 74 years old. Most people would say, I'm not living in that. It's old. I want something new. I have to have a pool with statues. And I have to have a liquor cabinet that slides open with, it's like mechanical with lights that look like the stars at night. So when my friends come over, it looks impressive. I understand that. Well, what you meant was your wife wants that, and you can't really, But no, I don't pay any of that. Okay, so last comments, and we out of here. We atcha. American blended with. Okay, last comments. I agree. Ezra Brooks is a hidden gem. Anybody that says Ezra Brooks is trash, don't trust that person. Okay. Glenn Farkless, peace out. Oh, I like Glenn Fark. Well, I've heard of Glenn Farkless. I think it's probably good. I probably would like it. They still sell Strohs and hams here. We get hams. We don't get Strohs. We never got Strohs. I also remember Meisterbrow ads in Olympia. Yeah, we used to get Meisterbrow. We get hams now. I think we used to get Strohs back in the 80s, but no. Jay, you didn't think the Sierra Fest beer was underwhelming? No, I liked it. It wasn't overwhelming. I wasn't like stunned by it, but I liked it. Yeah, Germany in a mug. Okay, Henry says I watched a guy buy a $9 shot of Jim Beam at the Hilton Garden in Milwaukee. His second trip to the bar, he got a shot of Basil Hayden at $13. I asked him, was that worth the extra $4? He said yes. So he paid $22 for about $1 worth of whiskey. Sound like a great deal to me. Paid $23 for $1. At that rate, when you die, your kids will receive no inheritance because you ain't gonna have no money. The 2024 Sierra Nevada Fest beer, it's great. I liked it. Hope you're having a good day. I am, Silas. I'm glad your wrist got better. Those bottles are almost the same cost as Sam's Club here. I thought the Fest beer was underwhelming. Okay, I don't know. I was expecting something more. Well, okay, I liked it. I don't know what to say. I liked it. Did I adore it? I don't know about all that. I liked it. Wish it was in bottles. Getting tired of looking at cans. They look cheap. When I was growing up, cans are what you bought when you didn't have money. Now cans are what you bought when you're trying to show off. And I got some cans of craft beer because I really know what's going on. It's Canadian blended whiskey over practically. You'll take Canadian blended whiskey over any American blended whiskey any day. Maybe I haven't found the right American blend yet. You ever tried 7 Crown? Do you think $18 to $22 a 4-pack of pints is too expensive for craft beer? It's pretty expensive. I mean, think about it. Do you really love beer that much? You want to pay $22 for a 4-pack? I mean, would you pay $50,000 for a Nissan Versa? You say, yeah, but mine's special. It's got special paint on it and special hood appliques. They only made 55 of those. It's a Taylor Swift edition. It's for the Eras Tour. It's a Nissan Versa Eras Tour edition. Well, you bought it. Good luck. Your grandpa bought a 1974 Dodge Hang 10. It had special appliques. They all peeled off in 1977, but All right. You haven't tried Seven Crown. Yeah, I would recommend checking that out. That might change your opinion about American blended whiskey. If you try Heaven Hill Quality House Kentucky blended whiskey, it probably won't change your opinion. Have you had Toasted Lager? My local had cans of them for 275, but they stopped. So I never heard of that. By Blue Point. No, I never heard. We don't get Blue Point beers in Louisiana. I'm a Honda Civic guy. My last one lasted 298,000 miles. I'm cool with that. Would you pay $50,000 for a Honda Civic? When I pay $22 for a 4 pack of craft beer, I usually feel like I paid $50,000 for a Nissan Versa or a Toyota Corolla. I ain't feeling too good about that. Right, good but overpriced. Right, good but overpriced. All right. Anyway, y'all take care. Uh, Subaru all the way. Oh yeah, all-wheel drive too. My daughter went to the Eras tour in Nashville. She thought it was awesome. She felt like she got her money's worth. My daughter went to the Eras tour. She felt as though she got her money's worth, and that's if you go and you feel like you got your money's worth. I guess that's what counts, right? All right, y'all take care. Bye bye now. No, I wouldn't pay 50,000 for a Honda Civic. I'm glad to hear that, Kevin.